Sony has dropped another massive batch of new deals on awesome PlayStation games, but this time, we're looking at ultimate discounts under $10. So without any delay, just hit that subscribe button and let's get started. First up, we have Wolfenstein: The Old Blood at 75% off at $5. And this is a fast-paced, story-driven FPS set before the New Order. You're fighting through castles, prisons, and underground labs in an alternate history World War setting. The shooting feels heavy and satisfying, and the campaign is tightly paced without overstaying its welcome. It's more focused and shorter than the main entry, but that actually works in its favor. This game is super cheap right now, and it's an easy pickup if you enjoy single-player shooters with solid storytelling. Then we got what I think is probably one of the best deals. Uncharted: The Nathan Drake Collection at 70% off at $6, and you're getting 3 full cinematic adventures in one package. This includes the first 3 Uncharted games, all remastered for PS4. It's got big set pieces, climbing, puzzles, shootouts. It's basically like a big playable action movie. For just $6 for an entire trilogy like this, that's ridiculous value. Then we have one of the best adventure games in history, Shadow of the Tomb Raider Definitive Edition at 85% off at $6. And this is the complete version with all DLC included. This entry focuses more on exploration and tomb puzzles, but the stealth and action are still solid. Visually, it still looks fantastic for an older game. And for this price, this whole package is a strong deal for a big AAA adventure. Next up, we got Injustice 2 Legendary Edition, which is at a massive 90% off at $6. And this version includes all DLC characters. You're getting a massive superhero fighting roster, a surprisingly good story mode, and tons of content. The combat is accessible, but deep enough for competitive play. I really think the Complete Edition is honestly kind of crazy for this deal. Then we have this crazy adventure game, Saints Row: The Third Remastered, which is currently 85% off at $4.40. And this is an open-world action game at its most ridiculous. It doesn't take itself seriously at all. It's even called kind of the crazier version of GTA, with over-the-top weapons, insane missions, wild customization. It's pure sandbox fun. For under $5, this is just dumb fun in the best way possible. Then we have The Evil Within 2, which is at 80% off at $8 right now, and this is a massive upgrade over the first game. It mixes the same survival horror with semi-open areas, letting you explore, scavenge, and approach encounters your own way. The atmosphere is tense, the enemy designs are disturbing, and the story is much more refined this time around. This is a great pickup if you want horror with solid gameplay depth. Then we got Shadow Warrior at 85% off at $4.50, and this is kind of pure arcade-style FPS action game. It mixes sword combat with guns, and the action rarely slows down, which keeps exciting and fun all the time. This game doesn't take itself too seriously, which adds to that fun. The gunplay is fast, enemies come in waves, and the movement keeps you aggressive. The humor can be kinda hit or miss, but the combat carries it. Under $5 for this much action, I think is a strong deal. Then we got Doom, which is 80% off at $4, and this is pure, no-nonsense FPS action. You already know about this one. It's got fast movement, aggressive combat, heavy metal energy. It's all about pushing forward and destroying everything in your path. The gunplay feels incredible, and the pacing never lets up. So if you are in for some nostalgic action, this one is really worth it. Then we got this game called ScourgeBringer, which is 85% off at $2.54, and this is a fast, skill-based roguelike platformer. You're constantly dashing through rooms, chaining combos, and fighting enemies in tight arenas. It's challenging but very responsive. The movement in this game feels smooth, and once you get into the rhythm, it becomes extremely satisfying. It's not an easy game, but at $2.50, this is a steal if you like fast-paced indie action. Speaking of action, I don't think there's a better fighting action game kinda like Sifu. It's 75% off at $10, and this is one of the most satisfying martial arts combat systems in recent years. Every fight in this game feels intense and packed with action. The positioning matters, the timing matters, and that aging mechanic, where you grow older every time you die, adds real tension to each run. It's tough, but once you learn the mechanics, it feels incredible. Then we have Bloodborne at 50% off at $10, and this is still one of the best action RPGs on PlayStation. It's dark, fast, and far more aggressive than many of those traditional Souls-style games. So the combat in this one rewards offense instead of passive defense, and the Gothic world design is unforgettable. It's challenging, there's no question, but incredibly rewarding once it clicks. At $10, this is easily one of the best value deals in the entire sale. Then there's We Were Here Together at 62% off at $4.93, so around $5. And this is a co-op puzzle game built entirely around communication. You and a friend solve puzzles in different locations and have to describe what you're seeing to each other. It's not action-heavy at all. It's about teamwork and thinking. Some puzzles can be tricky, but that's the fun of it. This is a great pickup if you're looking for something cooperative and different. Then we got this indie hit which grabbed my attention back when it was released. It's called Cult of the Lamb. It's 60% off at $10, and this game blends roguelike combat with cult management in the weirdest and somehow perfect way. You go on dungeon runs, defeat enemies, gather resources, then come back and build your cult, manage followers, perform rituals, and expand your base. It's dark, cute, chaotic, and surprisingly addictive. It's a bit pricey compared to other games, but trust me, this is a super unique experience you won't really find anywhere else. Speaking of indie hits, we also have Blasphemous 2 at 67% off at $9.80. And this is a brutal, beautifully animated Metroidvania with tight combat and deep exploration. The pixel art is stunning, the boss fights are challenging, and the world design is packed with secrets. It builds on everything the first game did and improves it. If you like difficult side-scrolling action with a dark tone, this is a strong pickup. Then we have Just Cause 4 Reloaded, which is currently 85% off at $6. And this is pure sandbox destruction. You've got grappling hooks, wingsuits, rockets, tornadoes. The whole thing is about causing maximum damage in creative ways. The story isn't the focus here. It's all about explosive freedom. I think for $6, this kind of over-the-top action is a great value. Then we got My Friend Pedro at 80% off at $4. And this is stylish, slow-motion gun-fu madness. Here, you're flipping through the air, bouncing bullets, skating, spinning. It's all about chaining stylish kills together. It's short, but it's tight and incredibly fun. I honestly kind of find the name pretty fun. Then we have probably the best co-op game out there, It Takes Two. It's 80% off at $8, and this is one of the best co-op games ever made, period. Every single level introduces new mechanics, from platforming to puzzles to mini-games, and it constantly switches things up so it never feels repetitive. It's built strictly for 2 players, either online or couch co-op, and the creativity on display here is wild. For $8, this is basically a must-buy if you have someone to play with. Then we got Prey at 80% off at $6, and this is one of the most underrated immersive sims of the last generation. This one's set on a space station, and it lets you approach problems in multiple ways, either stealth, hacking, combat, or using alien abilities. Exploration is rewarding, and the atmosphere is strong throughout. Then we got Just Cause 3 XXL Edition at 80% off for $6. And honestly, many people still prefer this over 4. The wingsuit mechanics feel great, explosions are constant, and the Mediterranean setting is bright and fun to mess around in. The XXL Edition also packs in extra content and weapons. For just $6, I honestly think this is a must-have sandbox experience. And then we got Darksiders 3 at 80% off for $8. And this entry shifts the series in a slightly different direction compared to the first 2 games. Instead of the more hack-and-slash style of Darksiders 1 and 2, this one leans more into methodical, Souls-like combat. You play as Fury, one of the 4 horsemen, and the combat is more deliberate. Dodging and timing matter a lot more here. The world design is interconnected, with plenty of shortcuts and exploration, and boss fights are a major focus. It's definitely more challenging than the previous entries, which some players loved and others didn't. But anyways, if you enjoy action games with tighter combat and a darker fantasy setting, this is absolutely worth checking out. So yeah, there you have it. 20 awesome game deals with massive discounts under $10. Let me know what games are you guys looking for these days, and I might just find some hidden deals on your favorite games as well. That's all for this one. See you next time.